All right. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce today's speaker, Chris Mazzola, who is the president of the Northeast HERS Alliance and the production manager at Home Energy Raters LLC, a HERS rating company based in Massachusetts. He oversees 5 office staff and 9 full-time certified HERS raters performing utility efficiency program inspections, IECC code compliance, builder and municipal inspector informational sessions. In addition to 12 years of service in the military, Chris also has 25 years of experience in logistics and engineering. He started his building science career with building diagnostics, doing primarily weatherization of existing homes, and with time evolved that into home energy raters. Chris has worked as a residential framer, an HVAC installer, and an electrician, and he is certified with FLIR, Infrared, and Energy Star Homes. Chris, welcome to today's program.
This is my story. Back in '73, there was a fairly large Rehabilitation Act that was signed by government, and the excitement of that efficiency coming to the residential market just excited me even in the womb. So, this is something that it doesn't always. It's not something kids grow up to be. I don't think it's something that a small toddler would says to his mom, "I want to be a building scientist someday." But there's a lot of different things that we do that are fun, and it's exciting, and and seeing the changes in how things evolve and the different types of tools, the diagnostic tools we use on a daily basis. And you can take this to whatever level you want. There are HERS raters in the market today that just do pure verification. They go into a house, they test the duct system, they do a blower door test, they test the ventilation, they document the actual conditions, and they run their model, and they finish up the project, they move on. But there's more that can be, there's more you can do. You can take this as far as you want. But you want to go to the next slide. So here's some great, these are some fun photos that I've taken over the years, and they're just issues that we run into on a daily basis. And they're challenges. Different subcontractors don't always think about the next subcontractor coming down the line. And you can see in some of these photos, like a red hot water PEX, instead of adding a few 90s and going around the vent pipe of a bathroom. They just went through it, which very efficient, straight shot, nice job. Slightly little rough cut there, but the photo beside that is a furnace filter return, where the trap is right in front of it. So getting that filter in and out is a little bit of a challenge. The one above it is some attic venting AccuVents that have all fallen down. They weren't actually secured to the roof sheathing by the installer. The one above that and to the side is just goes to show you how many different types of insulation you can have just in one room. And why each insulation type is used where, something we can get into later on. Below that is a bath fan that's got a little too much ductwork to it. And then a giant hole for a little pipe. Very common, big issue when we're trying to do infiltration and building tightness tests. Below that is actually a floor plan I actually got from an actual builder. They submitted that as a floor plan. I believe it is a Bounty paper towel. I think you can tell by the edges. And then there's my good friend Einstein at the top. So just so you know, a few pictures, just some things that we're going to talk about, and kind of the things you run into in the field, and what makes this job exciting. Yeah, I think we have one more slide maybe for me. Yep. So I was a quartermaster for 12 years in the United States Army. That's really like a fancy name for a warehouse manager. But I learned a lot. And one thing the military, I think, teaches anyone is how you deal with people that are above and below you, and the respect that you show for people that are above and below you. And when you take that into your adult life, into any career, it lends you some street cred. So I was an HVAC contractor for a while, and I'll be honest, with each one of these line items, I'll tell you what I didn't like. As an HVAC contractor, I cut myself a lot. I'm a clumsy guy. So I cut myself. So I said, you know what, this isn't the job for me. But I learned a lot in the time that I did it. I was an electrician for a couple of years. Obviously didn't like it because I electrocuted myself. So wasn't a big fan of that either. Framed houses for a couple of years, enjoyed it. But again, got to go back to the prior two. I wasn't really that good at it. I wasn't really good at cutting straight lines. So I left construction for a while, and I went back into warehousing and logistics, and became a project manager and a warehouse manager on the civilian side. But I'm not the type of person that can stay inside a building and kind of do the same thing over and over. That repetitive nature of warehousing just didn't cut it for me. I own a small farm. We have goats and a little donkey and some chickens and some turkeys and rabbits. My middle son is a large-scale dairy management major, actually just graduated from the University of New York in Cobleskill. He's currently down in Naples, Florida, working on a farm, hopefully coming back to Massachusetts soon to start his own micro dairy. And I get to eat free cheese and ice cream all the time. So I'm looking forward to that. And now I'm a HERS rater. I've been a HERS rater for 18 years. Started just before Mass Save in Massachusetts was a thing, and we helped with that initial case study. We currently do 1,600 HERS ratings a year. We do LEED certification. We do passive house certification. We do ICC code compliance, where we just do a blower door or just do a duct test. We do full HERS ratings for builders. And we do some consulting, but we do try to stay on the verification side for the most part. But that's about it for right now. Let's get into some nitty gritty slides. All right, so I just want to say, I think I've actually mentioned this a few times. As you grow into your adulthood, you are going to have more than one career in your life. Everyone does. If you don't, you're just super lucky or super boring, like Mr. Knit-Knots kind of thing. Like, you're gonna run into bumps in that road and potholes and twists and turns, and that's how you learn. That's the journey we take. That's how you experience, when you experience things, and when you fail, failures are never bad. Failures are just ways of learning, different ways of experiencing things. It's okay to fail, and you can only fail by trying something new. So you guys got to get out there and try new things. And by trying that, it'll develop into something You didn't know. You didn't know what you didn't know when you started. And that's really what we're trying to, help you guide today, is just to let you know that, becoming a HERS rater is the first step. What happens once you become a HERS rater? Like, the ocean's wide, right? There's so many opportunities. And you may end up being an HR coordinator for a HERS company. Like, it just, who knows? Who knows?